Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to October 2018. Thank you guys so much for being here. So, the first card we get is Judgment that comes out. Now, Judgment is kind of an interesting card because it's kind of a major turning point. And usually, when a judgment moment happens, it's kind of like it's like a point of no return, right? Like once something is said, once something is out there, once something is done, that's it. And there's really no way for you to ever take it back. Now, we do have this Venus retrograde happening in your sign, which is kind of a big deal. It's going to force everybody into their truest sense of authenticity. And whether that's something someone needs to say something, or whether someone needs to rectify something, or something, like karma needs to come out to play with some other people, it's going to manifest differently for everybody. But for you guys, I feel like you're reaching new heights of who you really are, and really coming in contact with, I was just going to say, the inner rebel in you a little bit, I think, because here we have the Hierophant reverse, which is a very iconoclastic kind of message, right? Really pulling away from what is expected of you, maybe even detaching from cultural kind of expectations, and societal and familial, and really pulling away from these things and start really doing things with a heart first kind of attitude. Like, I'm going to follow my heart, and I don't care what anyone else thinks. I don't care what anyone else says. This is what I know. This is what I believe to be right. This is what I believe to be good. Like I said, it's kind of a point of no return. Like, once you go down that path, it's going to be really hard for you to stop. It's not bad, right? I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm saying just to be prepared. Now, this could also, really manifest itself in terms of having some kind of an awakening, right? This is often called rebirth, being rebirthed, having a completely new perspective. And because these people are like coming out of their coffins, right? It is the kind of a feeling of coming out of the dark, being able to see things for the first time in a really long time. And usually that's introspectively seeing yourself in a different way, or seeing yourself the way other people might see you as well. And that can be kind of a harsh reality sometimes too. People are not going to be holding back with honesty. People are going to kind of be letting it fly, I think. They're just going to be saying it like it is. And because, Scorpio, at least you do have a thick skin. I know that on the inside you are so raw and so vulnerable, but you do have a thick skin enough to be able to just absorb what may come at you and process it appropriately and with as much objectivity as possible, so that you can utilize that information to your benefit. Ace of Wands reversed. There is a signification of things kind of being on hold. Again, we just went through the Mars retrograde, and that was like, ugh, like, come on, let's go. And then now we have the Venus retrograde. For those of you who are looking for relationships, now might not be the absolute best time to be finding someone. It's probably, I'm not saying it's impossible. I mean, of course, like, if it happens, right? But it really is going to be a good time for you to just be in your inner world, not on in an unhealthy way, but to reset, right? To reset psychological patterns, to reset psychological, or to break free from certain things that have been kind of holding you back. And to know that the opportunities will be there when you're ready. I often see an ace when it's reversed. It's just a delay on something, right? There's a delay on it coming forward or manifesting in your life, and it purely is delayed because of an inner state. Okay. Yes, what did I just say about breaking patterns, breaking habits? A Five of Swords is often an indication of repeating the same thing over and over. And sometimes I kind of even see it as like an insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over, but expecting a different result. Well, now is the time, right? This is you breaking free from that. This is the kind of the pattern and the belief system that has held you back and prevented you from, I don't know what it is. It's going to be different for everybody. For some of you, it's something as big as preventing you from finding happiness, right? From others of you, it's preventing you from getting that new job. For others, it's developing friendships or whatever. And there's a lot of focus on friendships right now, by the way, because of the Mars moving forward in Aquarius, especially for you guys, because you've got it in your 4th house, which is a really potent and powerful house. It really does connect with you because it's naturally ruled by Cancer, which is a fellow water sign. So it is an emotional time to have Mars moving forward in that house. A lot of focus on your connections, a lot of focus on the people that you associate with and which groups you associate with. Some of you will be breaking free from certain groups and joining other groups, letting some friendships go, letting some connections go, and forming others. 5 of Swords can also manifest in romantic relationships, and I often see it as people like having the same fight over and over again. It's like the same issues just keep coming up. Now is a really good time for you to figure out how it is that you are contributing to the things that are causing unhappiness in your life or causing turbulence or disruption in your life, and to fix them. It's totally possible for you to fix them. And I just happened to see the bottom of the deck. You guys know I don't do that normally. But here we have the bottom of the deck, which is the King of Cups, which is your card, your archetype, backed by the Empress, which is beautiful. Beautiful because we have this, well, Ace of Swords we see. We have this Temperance card, which is the balance. This is a reminder to not take anything to extreme as much as you can. I know that that's kind of part of your archetype, to take things to levels that a lot of people wouldn't take them to. But here's Temperance telling you that it's okay to just kind of let things go with the flow. It's okay to allow information to just come in as needed. This guy has the little dot, the little circle with the dot on his 3rd eye there, which signifies that that's actually the symbol of the sun. It's the illumination of the 3rd eye, illumination of the pineal gland. And then there's the triangle on his heart chakra there, which signifies the balance between the head, heart, and the stomach, right? The head, heart, and the courage. And it's so important for us to have this head, heart, stomach alignment. That's why, the stomach is kind of an interesting thing. And it's one of the things that not a lot of people talk about, right? That's really where our intuition really comes from, right? When a police detective says, I just have a gut feeling, well, because there's certain nerves and certain things, it is a receiving center. It does receive information from our consciousness and from higher self and all of that. And so it is important to follow your gut. Sometimes Scorpio can get very caught up in the head-heart war, right? A lot of people who are Scorpio, they feel like they're at a war with themselves because there's like this, I feel like I should do that, but I really want to do that. And there's always this conversation going on. Well, now it's really important for you to find a way to have your head and heart say the same thing. And I think for a lot of you, that is going to require you to really renounce a lot of the things that you were taught to believe, right? The way you were taught to believe about society and your beliefs about money and your beliefs about romantic relationships, your beliefs about your country. I mean, that goes bigger and bigger and bigger. And once you start really analyzing those things and once you start really coming in contact with your true place, you reach a higher level of authenticity. That's what this whole month is going to all be about for all of us, is like getting us to that point of authenticity, shedding all the layers of fakeness and pretense, and just allowing us to be who and what we are, and to not project any expectations onto anyone else, and to just say that's who they are. They have their own process, they have their own timeline, they have their own life, they have their own soul. And while they are an other self, right, they are a part of me, but still separate from me at the same time, right? Both things are true. And there's really not a lot you can do to control that process. And so it is kind of like a hands-off approach to others, but very hands-on with ourselves. So here we have the Five of Wands, right? Which signifies, well, Five of Wands reverse, which signifies that sort of petty superficiality. Sometimes it's like the arguing, the fighting, projecting of things onto other people and them really not handling that very well, and vice versa, them doing it to you. And Five of Wands reverse is a signifier of walking away. Really just walking away from it and saying, I choose not to engage in this. And it's not a holier than thou kind of mindset. It's not that you think you're better. It's not that you think that you're more evolved or whatever. It's just that you want to operate on a level that's more real, on a level that is more purposeful. Because a lot of times the things that people fight about, the things that people talk about, are really irrelevant. And I think that you're going to be annoyed by that irrelevance. The irrelevance of how most people kind of spend their time, the irrelevance of how a lot of people, they stick on certain things, they don't want to change, they don't want to evolve, and all of that. So we'll clarify that in the comprehensive for sure. But it is time for you to really make that choice to walk away from the things that no longer serve. Plain and simple. Queen of Cups, beautiful card for a Scorpio, especially with all that fourth house energy going on. See, what did I say about the sun? The sun kind of coming out in two places, here on the third eye chakra, and then here as the major arcana. So the sun represents all things good. It represents illumination and brilliance and intelligence. And it also represents the unfolding of life, and how whatever lessons you've learned and whatever lessons you've extracted from the past year or so, because you are preparing for your solar return, right? So you have all this 12th house activity. And so not only is the Venus retrograde there, but you do have the illumination of the 12th house, which makes us a little bit more otherworldly, it kind of takes us to the other world, takes us to the other realm. It highlights the things that are in our subconscious. And it's like once a year we get this time, we get this opportunity when the sun comes to our 12th house for us to really work on the patterns and for us to really work on the things that have been holding us back. Whether it's some of you, that's because you never meditate, so now's a good time to meditate. For others of you, you keep having the same kind of relationships over and over, so it's time for you to stop torturing yourself in that kind of way, right? Or whatever your pattern is, we all have them. And Queen of Cups signifies that strength. I see her as a very strong force in the zodiac or in the tarot. And one of the things that I really love about her is how she comes out, and she's the only queen or king or knight or page or whatever that has a difference in her kind of thing, right? Like all the cups look the same except for her cup. She kind of is holding a holy grail, right? Like the Queen of Pentacles is still holding a pentacle. A King of Cups is still holding a regular cup, but she's got this holy grail. And she seems to have the key or the answers to whatever it is that you're needing answers to. You have the key right now to opening up a whole new life for yourself. If you're happy with your life the way it is now, then you have the key to taking it to a whole new level. There's no doubt in my mind that Scorpio is going to be making huge strides this upcoming year. You are going to be feeling the power of Saturn coming in contact with Pluto this whole year, because we're all going to be feeling that tension. And because Pluto is your ruling planet, this is especially relevant to you. You're the only sign ruled by Pluto, so especially relevant to you. And your transformative powers are going to be highlighted, but I feel like it's a steady progress. It's not going to be this deep, painful thing. It's not going to be this sudden, random, unexpected thing. It's going to be slow. It's going to be methodical, and it is going to really push you into your power in a way that you can't even begin to imagine today. And the sun is coming out here and telling me that you are absolutely headed in the right direction, and that by doing what you're doing, right, walking away from certain things or, leaving certain institutions behind, that you are stepping into your power by doing so. And it's uncomfortable. Yes. It's extreme. Yeah, maybe for some of you it is. Is it going to really change your life in a huge, gigantic way immediately? No, probably not. But eventually it's going to be a turning point. It's going to be a time when you say it had to be that way. It couldn't have been any other way. It had to be that way. And temperance comes out and it really puts a very soft tone on everything. It really causes things to just kind of chill and cool off, and gives everything this really nice Zen factor. Because no matter what is happening here, no matter what you're kind of banging your head against the wall, trying to get something to work or trying to get someone to do something or whatever, you're banging your head against the wall. And yet here is this message of just letting things really unfold and really giving up control of the things that you don't have control of. And I'm sorry, I'm not like, I've never been in the program before, but I think that's one of their things, right? Let me know the things I can control, or something along those lines. And that's a very relevant line as part of their kind of prayer or saying thing that they say. Because it is a key to our happiness, is like really giving up control of the things that we can't really control. So here's the Queen of Coins. Remember how I was saying that it's the same, and why hers is so different? I don't really know. The Holy Grail, the key, the answers to something. You seem to be holding it. So here we have the High Priestess. Okay, I'm going to kind of read these separately here. The High Priestess is very similar to the Judgment card in that it's the bubbling up from the subconscious, especially for you guys with the 12th house illumination there. So we have things coming to the forefront of our minds. In a way, the High Priestess signifies something that cannot be contained anymore. And I kind of almost am feeling like the sooner you stop trying to contain it, the sooner you can achieve this 10 of Cups, which is ultimate happiness, ultimate bliss. 10 of Cups in any situation signifies a victory, signifies success. You might not get exactly what you want or what you think you want, but like I said before, a few years down the road, you're going to be like, wow, it had to be that way. It couldn't have been any other way. I'm so grateful that it did go that way. And the Queen of Pentacles is my manifestation queen, right? Because she represents Earth. She is the one that can absolutely produce anything from anything. This is a Capricorn quality. And where do we have Saturn, Pluto? Capricorn, right? There's a concentration on the Capricorn energy for all of us. The Capricorn energy within all of us. The one that is able to use the lessons that you've learned thus far. The energy that takes the knowledge and the know-how and the willpower and the structure to create something. She's creative, she's able to plant seeds and to grow this beautiful garden and to manifest anything and anything that she really wants. You are absolutely on the right track here with the Four of Coins, right? Because the Four of Coins suggests stability. It suggests stick-to-itiveness as well, like putting your mind to something and just going for it and No need to really stop. No need to really slow down. There's persistence here. There can be stubbornness here too. However, I think this month, the Four of Coins is the persistence in letting something go more than anything, more than holding on to something. There's nothing here that really signifies holding on. There could be a tendency to do that, especially for you, Scorpio, because that's kind of part of your archetype, right? Like really keeping things inside and, being very emotional, but not really letting people see it that much, only people that you really, really trust, right? Well, now is not a time to hold things in. Now is not a time to try to keep things the same. And I think you're going to feel a lot of pressure in that. You are being asked to break these psychological patterns. You are being asked to change the way you go about doing your life. Okay? And it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be good. To let go of what is comfortable and familiar and to embrace the Ten of Cups, because that's ultimately where you're headed. That's where the sun is taking you. Okay? All right, you guys, there's a lot to clarify in the comprehensive. Of course, these cards for sure will be looked at. The High Priestess reverse, Four of Coins. So there is going to be more content there. So if you want to join me on the website, you're more than welcome. I hope to see you. And if not, then I will see you next month. Thank you guys so much. Take care. Bye-bye.